And good morning, good afternoon, good evening. However you're watching the Falcon Cast today, we'll welcome you guys here to another TPL edition of Week 4, Division 4 action. Happy to be here with you, as always. Hoping it for a wonderful stream today. Fingers crossed for good games and streams, good karma both ways. Looking to try to do some good stuff today. So to jump out, as we're waiting for everybody to still filter into the game, we are currently going to be working with some rules here in a TPL match, just like we always do. First rule, one man already, one man only. Nobody helping him, nobody load, nobody sitting there on the gun in any way. One man is on the gun or woman, and once they get on the gun, they can't leave that gun. They have to stay on the same gun the entire time. So they're responsible for turning that one gun, loading and firing that one gun only. Don't want to see any match issues pop up because of that. Second, indestructible nodes, once they're up, we want them to stay up. And we want everybody to have a good old time and be able to generate those resources as best as they can. It's up to each team's commander on how they decide to do that. And finally, Panther ban. We are still working with that in effect. Some changes have been made to the armor, and we are currently working through all those. But as of right now, we're not changing everything too much, not trying to reinvent the wheel, and we're keeping the Panther ban on there. So Axis tanks, heaviest you'll see out there is a Tiger tank. But allies, of course, can roll at 75 and the 76. So it brings a whole new dynamic to it now that we can see some of those 75s rolled out. So it'll be interesting if we are able to see one of those today. But I will be your host today. I will be Night Falcon. Happy to be a member of the TPL stream team here. Proud member of the 22nd. Playing in Division 2. Got a match later today against TFMC. So invite you guys to check out Smithers Cast for that. Should be a good one over SMDM. But yeah, that's not our match right now. Right now we are focusing on 508P, and we are focusing on L390. 3LPZ here. So we want to be able to highlight these guys here, currently sitting in 5th and 6th positions here. Both of them eagerly looking to try to get that win here on the TPL battlefield, as they both look to get into the final playoff process and try to better their positions as best they can for that. As of right now, we can see that MSU is currently dominating this group with a 3-0 undefeated record. And so it'll be interesting to see over the course of the next couple weeks if they can hold on to that going into the playoffs. But both 508 and 3LPZ definitely both still in the action here and want to be able to try to better as best as they can. So it should be an exciting one today as we focus on Train Station here on Carentan. Just letting them know that we're already here and that Falcon is good to go. I will be streaming today's match from the 3LPZ side. We will be on the Axis side. Sassy Anna, another member of the stream team, is streaming on the 508P side, and would also suggest you check out her side to hear her commentary and her insights and action on the game. I do my best to try to provide everything from a good, non-biased perspective, but it's always fun to see how each of us control that admin cam and the actions that we can get. So if you do something really cool and it's not in my stream, I invite you to go check her out and see if that play by chance got caught on hers. But I'll do my best to try to do what I can. All right. Now, on the 3LPZ side, we also have Arcanjo, who is also a member of the stream team. So it's fun to be able to be a part of that and help out with that. They have informed me that they are ready to go, but due to some of the stuff going on, it looks like I will pass that message along here. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some of the head-to-head on these two teams here as we are waiting for everybody to get on in. So some fun ones that I ended up trying to pick out today was the bazooka. So that's going to be our bazooka wild card here as we are talking about the new artillery and then, or sorry, the new armor updates and everything associated with that, and just how much those bazookas can play into it. So with that, we've got a 0-3 record here for 3LPZ, 1-2 for our not RMC. I apologize, 508P. I did not update that. So let's go ahead. We're going to get that changed around here real fast, because at the end of the day, that is unprofessional of us here at Falcon Studios. And apologize ahead of time for the interns making that mistake here. Get that all added up here. All right. Updated. Okay, cool. So, record, got that. Infantry kills per minute. So takes the total amount of infantry kills and divides it out over the course of the 90 minutes that they end up playing, or however the end of the match, whatever the length of that is. For both teams, I was able to take it from 2 of their previous ones, because unfortunately one game for each of them had data that was corrupted, couldn't pull it. But from that information, we got an average infantry kills per minute of 8.80 for 3LPZ and 10.42. So 508P is going to get a little bit of the edge there on the infantry kills per minute. Armor, though, pretty much neck and neck. So averaging just over 1 kill a minute. So it'll be interesting to see how those guys play into effect here today on a map that definitely is going to be favored towards the infantry, where the armor is going to have to be pretty safe and secure and conservative, just so they don't get burned on fuel issues and whatnot. Artillery kills per minute, pretty much neck and neck, 0.92, 0.93. But the biggest one that I found for a differentiator between these two teams is going to be the bazooka. And frankly, both of them were on the relatively low side. So it'll be interesting to see how the bazooka and the Panzerschreck plays into each team's strategy today, as they will be forced to try to get those enemy tanks and other armor out of the field, just so that they can try to keep and hold the southern portion of train station. So with us having a little bit of time, let's go ahead and pop up here into the Falcon Cam and see a little bit about these points and what train station is going to be all about. So we don't know what the fourth and the second points will be here for our respective teams, but we do know that train station will be here. So let's talk a little bit about the dynamics as we're looking into this that both teams are going to be facing today. So let's get my handy dandy drawing tool out. All right, there we go. Got it right here. So train station is kind of a dichotomy between 2 separate points, and it looks like we're actually flipping here. So with that, we'll talk about it here in just a second as we're waiting for the teams to load on in. Make sure I got on the right squad here. Perfect. Wonderful. My cast tag back on there because it likes to fall off. Let people know that I'm not some enemy combatant. Hide over here, far away from all the action, just so I don't cause any potential problems, even though my guy will go invisible right now. Boom, magic trick. All right. So let's pull it up here while we're waiting for the teams to go ahead and get started and for that wall to drop. Okay. So looking south, we are going to be looking at pretty much boundary lines that run right here and right here. So this is going to be our sector with a little bit right here in it. So the northern portion of the section, which for you guys looking is going to be on the southern side. So down here, we can see a lot more urban environments. But as we get towards the back side over on the here, especially the mansion right here, it's a lot more open fields. So a lot of ways that teams are going to be able to get through down here is going to be along these roads, along these hedge lines. So for both teams, it's going to be essential to hold this little mansion complex right here, as well as the middle section in the hard cap here train station. So as they look to get in, if we are with Mount Hileus, It's going to be very interesting for derailed train. Here we're going to be working with some pretty just back and forth points. Luckily for them, any team that go ahead and hold, so if the Allied side or Axis side can come in and hold this northern portion here, it's going to be big for them going into derailed train. So let's see if 3LPZ is going to be able to get in there and get that done. Looks like we've got transport trucks, medium, and recon are going here on the bottom here for the Axis forces. We got one Stuart coming out of here on the bottom for the Allies. And with that, we're going to go ahead and tilt ourselves back out of the shot here and see if any snipes that teams have prepared, things come in here or either side. And if they do, let's try to catch the action as it goes in here as we start with the wall drop here between 3LPZ and 508P. All right, so initial Axis supply drop already coming in backside of Mount Hileus to go ahead and get that garrison built up, just in case anything were to happen on the backside. Allied supply drop coming in on train station. 508P looking to try to use an advantage to try to get in and secure that point, get that garrison up very quickly. Rockets coming in. Do not see any as we see him zip across the screen as Corporal Dirtman riding across on top of his giant iron steed here on the southern side. Moves to get across on the truck. 3LPZ's truck also looking to go on the south side as we start to see little blueberries popping out on this road here, just outside of the hardcap sector. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to keep an eye on here. Oh no, the truck gets stuck, unfortunately. Forcing 3LPZ to get out, maybe just a little bit before their hedge, so maybe it wasn't too bad. But nonetheless, it got a little stuck. A little high-centered on that as we see a rocket go out from Ander. Good rocket right in the front. More rockets coming out for Dirtman as the Stuart comes along this southern side. So the battle for the south is definitely heating up already as Ander it dodges that Stuart tank as it comes around. Stuart tank getting behind the Panzer IV though pretty quickly here. Let's see if that Stuart tank's going to be able to get shot. First shot ricochets off of it. Medium flips around, overturns. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, he's going to be able to get a broadside here on the Stuart. One shot takes him out. So little Stewie almost got a little bit of action here. Almost had a luck of a draw on the Panzer IV there, but unfortunately for him, that shot ricocheted and disappeared. 3LPZ coming in strong on the northern side, but a lot of those guys, as of right now, are sitting outside of the soft cap, so not providing any cap weight here at the moment for 3LPZ, as more and more cap progress comes in for 508P. Andrade just trying to stay safe here on the southern side as Cruel takes out Cheese, but Blue Shoe coming in, getting a little bit of a damage shot on Cruel. Cap progress coming in, 508P. All right, it looks like our scoreboard, unfortunately, isn't going to be working, so I'm going to be manually holding this scoreboard today here, so give me just a moment as I work to get that set up here. This cap progress now coming in good for 508P. 3LPZ stopped it for just a moment. Still ticking away here in favor of 508. 3LPZ, though, still leaving themselves in a good position as they've got a good spread across the train station. So even if they lose this here initially, it's going to be good for them as long as they get their OPs up. They can probably get some type of amount pushed back into the match here. Okay, and there we go. Looks like we are ticking away here on our clock. About half a second behind, so I apologize for that. But kicks and giggles here. We'll go ahead and pause it here as now we are getting up to our point here. So we're going to go ahead and give that initial cap here to 508P. All right. And we are ticking away on our clock. Score is up. All right, so we will be able to review stats in full once the match is over. But let's take a look and see how 3LPZ did at getting Garrison or OPs back up here on the initial side. So H squad, L squad, K squad. Looks like waiting on a few OPs in the northern side, but for the most part, I see an OP attached to most of the officers that are at least spawned in at the moment. So 3LPZ is going to be able to have a good push back here into the point based off of those OPs. So good placement by them to react back into that. As we see the opening medium tank looks like it's taking up a position along that southern side of train station here. So for 3LPZ, they do not want to lose that foothold that they have on the southern side of the map. If they get pushed off of there as the 508P guys are moving on into that area, they do not want to get pushed off of that in a way that if they lose that foothold, it's going to be very hard for them to get it back as they have to go across the fields in order to get there. All right. Now, for you for non-English speaking friends out there, I have looked at YouTube to try to get it to do the voice dubbing for me. Whether or not it does it live, I don't know. But I'm hoping that you can get that so that through the wonderful assistance of technology, it might be able to translate that over into Portuguese for you, or whatever other English, non-English language you guys might have there. So hopefully that feature works for you, and then we can get that up and going. But it's definitely a first trial run here for us to see if that tool will work. As Lumitz takes out Wyatt. Good shooting here from Lumertz. As he works to hold down his position here on the southern side. Bernard also trying to move up with him. As Dirtman coming around the corner. Let's turn in our X-ray vision here so we can see where Dirtman is. Dirtman doesn't see him though, and Lumertz is able to go ahead and get him on that. Fortunately for Dirtman there. But now we start to see cap pressure coming in for 3LPZ. So with a little bit of evidence, with a good play by their officers to get their OPs back down, they were able to get a strong push back here into the point as Lander's getting some shots on something here on the back side. Based on the position, it could have very well been a garrison, but it looks like we do have some body parts lying around, so at least not a spawn, but at least enemy infantry was removed. So nearing about 1/4 of the way capped for 3LPZ. Do not see any reinforcements down quite yet, so not panicking quite yet on the 508P side. Plenty of actions going all the way up into town centers. So both teams playing very wide, which as we get towards these larger 40s and 49s divisions, you're going to start seeing. So you got to control more and more of the map. Gutma and Bus are trying to hold Corporal Otter out, coming around the side. Both Bus and Kimdo. Akumindo Joe, I apologize, I butchered that, are able to stop him as he comes around. So now we are nearing 2/3 of the way capped here for 3LPZ. Got a lot of bodies here in the middle hard cap for 3LPZ. I'm going to zoom around here on the outside. If we can hear some tanks battling off here on the southern side. We've got a Stuart tank right here. Let's see if he's matching up against that Panzer IV for, oh no, it looks like 3LPZ lost the southern side. So it's going to be big to see if that capture, for 3LPZ, if they can finish out that cap and get bodies back here into the point, it's going to be big for them to try to keep pushing up into that area. Reinforce is down for 508P. As they work to go ahead and try to bring as many bodies back into the point. But 3LPZ continuing to hold more and more of that strong cap sector. So as we move in, that reinforce is only going to apply to anybody that's inside of this black circle. So for the time being, it's helping them. But 508P is going to need to continue to get bodies into that point in order to help shore it up a little bit more. As that is probably only about 1 minute away from expiring here, and 3LPZ still controls much of the hard cap sector. Supplies coming in for 3LPZ as more and more Artie from Fanatico comes on in, trying to hit those guys on the back side. Looks like Artie from the Allied side hit pretty good here on some of the squads here for 3LPZ. Cruel though, with almost pretty cool MG gun placement here. as he is looking to try to be able to defend this inside hardcap sector. He's got a good overlook of everything here. But as of right now, we know all these little red cherries are there, but he does not. If we were to go ahead and take away some of our advantages here on the casting side, things look relatively quiet in front of him, but if just a quick switch, and boom, there's all of the enemy soldiers there. So they are just outside of his line of vision, but in short time, very well could be eating pretty well with that MG42. Avocado taking out Blue Chew. Killer falling down on that backside. Not quite sure who took him out, but unfortunately he was taken and eliminated. So 3LPZ battling to try to get themselves back up into that corner on the far side of the southern map edge. Phobius now, the only man really in the middle of hard cap, as we see more and more 508P guys pushing in from the top. Corporal Otter, who we saw get dispatched a little earlier, running straight in here. Braga and Johnny Hog, though, able to make short work of him and Sergeant Ed. One of the things I love about Carentan is just the close quarters combat. You're not going to get, with the exception of the southern side there, a lot of things are going to be more up close and personal. And that's going to leave for a lot of action, a lot of exciting fights, higher kill games. Amongst every level and every division here in TPL. So Carentan is probably, I'd have to say, one of my favorite maps here. As I've had the opportunity to play a good number here as Duke takes out Texas Beats. With each midpoint presenting its own individual challenge and problem. So it's definitely a never dull action here when we get a player on Carentan. Go ahead and zoom out and get a little bit more of the macro view here as we look to try to understand the developments of this battlefield here for the moment. And popping into the Falcon cam, let's go ahead and take a look and see. So 3LPZ working with a front line that's relatively good back here on the backside. 508P doing the same. Pretty well structured against the relative roads and hedgerows, kind of like what we talked about earlier. But nonetheless, 3LPZ looking to try to battle back into the point here. But 508P has been able to gain a good solid hood footing over that strong cap sector. So for 3LPZ, if they're going to look to try to get back in control of this area, they're going to want to get down here into the southern side with the help of their southern flank soldiers here. And they're also going to want to continue trying to hold this part. So if this section here for 3LPZ on the southern side can continue over and get this road here, force 508P back into these fields, it could give them a very good strong push in order to get the rest of the infantry up, control this southern portion of the hard cap sector, and give themselves a good advantage to try to get back up into that point. As we can start to see more and more blueberries pushing into the hard cap sector. Come on and see how this pivotal battle along the southern edge is going. The Allied medium tank still back here trying to cause problems here. But it sounds like there might be some type of tank here for 3LPZ as well. Yep. The Panzer IV is still sitting there. Neither one of them making a push yet, but they both probably know that the other one is there. The Panzer IV, though, taking a more aggressive approach as cap progress starts to come in here for 3LPZ. Let's go ahead and take a look, see if we can see where this where this medium Sherman kind of dipped off to. Don't see him on the field anymore. Was he eliminated? It does not look like it. I've not seen a carcass on the ground, but that with the medium Sherman vacating the area, it really gives the ability for that Panzer to own the push here. The bazookas here by the Allied forces unfortunately do not contain enough little pressure to be able to put too much on the Panzer IV from front armor. So the Panzer IV looking to definitely use its advantage here as it continues just to wipe out these Allied soldiers that are spawning in here on the southern side. Now, ET gun placement here for 3 LPZ in a very good position to try to help cover that Panzer IV as they're looking to try to get to that southern edge, take out whatever spawns might be here for the Allied side. I believe we did see some OPs and potentially a garrison down here on the southern edge. Yeah, so garrison's going to be just about a hedgerow over from that Panzer IV here. So the Panzer IV leading the charge here for his team as they try to get past a hostile tree that appears to have got them stuck up here a little bit. RC Raven, though, looks like got a track hit on it, and that's really all that he's going to be able to do from the front side of that Panzer IV. These tracks appear to be a little bit smoky here. Fortunately, second rocket from Raven hitting the bank on the other side of him. We see cap progress continuing to come in here for 3 LPZ. Go ahead and see. We haven't spent a lot of time here in the north. Let's go ahead and take a look and see how this northern edge is going. As Beckham, Tamara's, Gurabini face off against Corporal Gray. Cheese, Squiggly. First Lieutenant Winters. T's pushing on up after he's removed the few 3 LPZ players here. Running with the assault, the automatic rifleman class here with the bar, it looks like, in his hand. Alien and Cheese on a collision course here. Cheese not knowing that Alien's there, though. Alien able to get the broadside on Cheese. Corporal Gray, now the only other man here looking to try to get back and help Alien, who's all by himself up here on this little island, waiting for his comrades to spawn back in. As Zangado, sorry, coming up to try to help out Alien as he's pushing his way into town center. Squiggly eliminated here from Vitough 94. So a lot of the times, these first times, you don't normally get a cap off of the first or second pushes here, and it's kind of how we're seeing with 3 LPZ going right here. But 508P able to repel what they have so far, but 3 LPZ still pushing hard as they have their medium and a Tiger all stacked up here on the southern side. So let's go ahead and see what that is now looking like as we have those 2 tanks set up, and both of them getting off of that repair station to try to get repaired back up and get ready for this push, as Sergeant Stake is like, hey, I need to do what I can to help prevent that, as the Tiger takes multiple shots into it. Still no Allied armor on the southern side. That Sherman must have been eliminated or double stacked with its 76 here on the middle. So we've got both teams stacking tanks here, both sides trying to push down in and hold it, as we are starting to get some pressure here on Mount Hileus. Looks like one squad, I squad from the Red Baron, able to sneak their way back into the backside spawns here for 508P. Now, Red Baron pretty much going to go uncontested up to this garrison here, as it is currently warm, signaling to Fran and Wiseman that there are bad guys in the sector. Red Baron making himself a garrison ace as he gets that garrison removed, leaving 3 LPZ with only 3 garrisons here in the area. Plenty of time to come off and spawn back into it, but we've got multiple of them multiple 508P guys starting to get themselves back into the northern section as cap progress is contested. Now, both of those 508P guys are in the hard cap with Dr. Cox just stepping out of the way as the Tiger tank retreats back to try to figure out what's going on, as 3 LPZ tries to diagnose the situation here on Mount Hileus. So for the time being, 3 LPZ able to gain coverage back and keep that cap in their favor as cap progress starts to come back in here for 508P. Red Baron spawning again off of his OP. Commander Aldemiro trying to close in, see what this OP back here is doing. Taking his time, Aldemiro able to go ahead and eliminate 1. Red Baron still in the area, so we got commander against officer going here. Red Baron trying not to give up his hand to show exactly where he is, but now looking to get a peek around. Does not see Aldemiro. Sees him, finally gets 1 shot on him, but unfortunately must have winged Aldemiro. And Aldemiro going to have the last laugh here on the Red Baron.
As he moves up, Krieger spawns in. Alamiro taking out him. Now he is free to get that outpost, shoring up his defenses, helping out his team when it comes to defending on the Mount Highway S side. Now, one garrison looks like 4 508P currently up on the derailed station. Derailed train, sorry, portion of that. But slowly but surely, 508P has started just to own this middle of hardcap sector. And so 3LPZ currently not able to do too much when it gets into the cap progress. Everybody here on the northern side pretty much not contributing cap weight, even though they own the northern sector. Be interesting to see if they can get back down in here and kind of shore that up a little bit. 3LPZ also having been wiped along the southern edge, forced to come back into off of these garrisons right here. So for the time being, Matthias now back here picking people off as they come off of the 3LPZ garrison. Just eating here with this Springfield. As now he is the only man in the soft cap sector for his team. Now we got a Stewart that's made a big long trek here onto the backside, gone undetected. Frankly, it would be very interesting if they can get up and kill this other Tiger tank here. That would really put a damper on the ability of the 3LPZ to get an armor advantage here on the team. Because we were talking about earlier how the armor advantage is so huge with the new buffs and things that they've given to the tanks, that if 3LPZ is able to maintain high-level heavy tanks on the field, they could end up being a good deciding factor for them, and really assist in trying to build some type of momentum and push down into various points. But for the time being, that Tiger tank sits empty at the bottom HQ. Now, we're going to go back here to the middle hardcap sector race here, as Dumal and Krill have been able to break through the momentum of the forces that was there here. But Dumal, let's go ahead and see if we can get a good old look here at his first-person perspective here. She's hiding out around the corner. Go ahead and see. Yep, she's right there. Gets him. Good work. So holding down this middle hardcap sector, getting a good first-person perspective here. Squiggly floating around on the backside. Let's see if he's going to stay patient. Oh, yeah, gives himself up here. And with that, we have another kill here. Unfortunately, as Duman was taken out by Blue Chew here on the backside. But taking a few guys with him, it was a good fight here for Blue Chew. As DG getting up on top of that roof, trying to get the angled advantage here to try to eliminate what 508P guys can. So it looks like he's gotten a couple off of that roof hiding spot, as he is covering the area where this garrison and other outposts are centrally located here for 508P. Alright, so for any of you guys that are in the chat as well, we welcome you guys to the broadcast. I know you're currently 30 minutes in the past here for us, but if for some reason when you get to this point of the match and you guys find that something's not working, sound's not working appropriately, feel free to let me know. Here at the Falcon Studios, we've had a bad couple weeks here with some of the in-game sound. We believe everything is working just fine, and it appears that everything on our side shows that it's working fine, but if it's not for some reason, let me know. But we welcome you guys all here to the matchup today. To kind of give you a quick recap of what things have looked like here, the initial struggle here over Town Center looked to be going pretty quickly in favor of 508P, but 3LPZ were able to push some bodies down into the point, and delayed that cap for just a moment. But at the end of the day, 508P was able to go ahead and get that cap pushed back in their favor. So we are now sitting 3-2 in favor of 508P, with 3LPZ making a few different attempts on there, as we've seen cap progress as much as up to about 66%, about 2/3 of the way cap for them. But right now, currently sitting in a position where 508P is in control here as Killer trying to move around, dodging multiple guys, but Blue Chew having the final say here as he eliminates the last man from 3LPZ to be here on the southern edge. All right, so just as time has kind of gone on here, we do start to see that the dynamic here, 508P has started to get more and more bodies back here with Ice Squad floating their way back in the back. We've got 2 tanks here floating around. Sorry guys, we're gonna go ahead and zoom out of our drawing tool here real fast. I'll clear that so it's not on our way. But the medium Stewart, or medium, not medium, but the light Stewart that we were seeing earlier, looks like it's gone all the way around, was able to get some damage onto the Tiger tank, and it appears not engined him, but able to get some good damage on him. Luckily, he got saved from his Panzer IV here that was able to go ahead and get back and eliminate that Stewart here. So good communication here from the 3LPC tank crews to know that they have that threat on the backside. But Red Baron looking to kind of just stalk in those back lines again. Looks to be a little bit more of just a sabotage squad as we see a Garrison go up here. Unfortunately, but a good precision strike coming in from the Allied side on that dispatched tank as Lumertz and Brandalumund are sit back here just baffled, staring at the corpse of their old iron coffin here as it is sent back to the spawn. And it looks like that Tiger tank that we were talking about earlier was taken out as well. So that Stewart may have caused a lot of damage in destroying an unmanned Tiger tank on the backside and damaging that other Tiger tank enough that it was precision striked here from the Allied commander. So good coordination here from both armor crews with some pretty good plays, pretty decent plays on both sides. So yeah, very good armor play so far here from both teams to coordinate with each other and get that taken care of. Hopefully for 3LPZ, they'll be able to keep those bad guys out of their back lines and allow their armor to continue building forward, as that's going to be a massive hit for them, as they're going to probably they're going to have to wait the cooldown here until that next tank is available for them to spawn in, unless no, never mind. Sorry, for my brain. My brain was thinking we'd have to go with the 75, but that's the Allied side. We're the Axis side, and we only have the option of the 1. So they are going to be on cooldown for quite some time. So that could leave the Axis 3LPZ side here with a little bit of difficulty here, trying to get back up on top of the armor advantage here as Raven on an AT gun takes a couple of shots at that P4, but the P4 clearing the way down the hedge here, sees that AT gun, and we have a front row view of that rocket shot from that Panzer IV here. Go ahead and give Mr. Willpower here a little bit of a look here so that he can go ahead and know that was his AT gun kill. But more AT guns pop in the front side of that Panzer here as Dirtman and Moxie look to get that up. Unfortunately, not able to get the gun turned in time, but the Panzer IV showing their backside. Let's see if that Panzer IV gets stuck. This AT gun could really give a problem. So we're like that. Dirtman and Moxie just going to try to push this AT gun around as much as they possibly can, as a lot of AT guns here have been set up on the backside as the second one falls to that Panzer IV. But that Panzer IV now getting swarmed here by multiple guys. I think the artillery from Fanatico, though, coming in clutch, taking out some of those bad guys on the backside of that Panzer IV. Panzer IV, though, struggling as he's getting stuck on a hostile tree here. Willpower Mister trying to get out of the way here, trying to save that Panzer IV. It is vital for them to go ahead and keep that up, so they try to maintain some type of armor presence here on the field. Raven just is forced to watch as that moves away, knowing that if he had had one more rocket, he might have been able to get to it, but lurking behind him, looks like we see a 76 looking up to try to come and get the kill. '76 moving up here for the Allied side. We're going to go ahead and watch from their camp here as a bombing run here from Commander Almiro looks to try to soften up some of those 508P defenders. Now the backside of this Panzer IV is very exposed as it limps its way back to its safe lines and to the relative safety of its repair station that was located back there, but does not appear that it is there anymore. So they are going to look to try to get some additional support here. But this 76 licking its chops here on the southern side, looking to try to get an angle on this Panzer IV. Little does he know, if he pushes up just a little bit farther, he'll have a full shot at the backside of that. But not wanting to give up too much, knowing that those Tiger tanks, knowing that those heavy tanks are very very valuable assets. Not wanting to be too excited, but it looks like that AT gun though from Dirtman able to finally get the rotation around and get the shot on that Panzer IV. So that Panzer IV eliminated, leaving just one recon tank on the field right now for 3LPZ. So 3LPZ needing to get a few more bodies back in tanks to start winning some of those tank fights, unfortunately. That the luck has just not gone their way so far. But with the advantage of the Tiger tank, they definitely can look to try to get some additional help into it as we look to see how this battle continues to push more and more forward here as we near the 56 cap, 65th minute mark. All right. Now, before we had so much fun tank action, we were talking a little bit more about how this, this front line was shaping up here for both sides. 3LPZ trying to get in on this section right here. But unfortunately, 508P starting to get a really good push. Now, let's keep an eye on this push. If this push is able to get a little bit farther, they're going to be able to get access to this garrison right here. They're able to remove that garrison from 3LPZ. It's going to be a real hard day for 3LPZ to try to get people back into this area. So this garrison is going to be a pivotal garrison. Is Smelling Wood, no doubt smelling the garrison here on top of it. And just like that, as we were kind of talking about, Smelling Wood's able to go ahead and get behind 3LPZ, taking out that garrison. Now, it will be pivotal if he can get these supplies as well. Make it very difficult for 3LPZ to get some type of garrison spawn back up here. They'll be forced to work completely off of OPs that frankly are in some pretty aggressive positions here and can easily be wiped out at any time. So 3LPZ gonna need to really get something back up here for them to be able to get that spawn back in as A squad spawns in. Dan looking to try to do what he can to try to secure that area as the Lux moves up here on the southern side to try to provide a little bit of help to reestablish themselves into that garrison. Dan moving on Smelling Wood though. Smelling Wood not able to get some shots on Dan as Dan's able to go ahead and take him out, removing that OP as well. Cheese though spawns on it. Unfortunately, the spawn lock got in. Dan not quite ready for it as Cheese able to go in and get him taken out. So while no supplies or anything here from Dan coming in, not able to quite get a garrison up, and unfortunately getting a little bit surprised by Cheese. And Sergeant Hazel now looking to try to hold that 3-story broken building as Dan's back in, trying to get his revenge there on Cheese, and unfortunately does not appear that it will happen on that life as he is eliminated. Now, 508P appears to be in total control of the southern side here, a mansion complex all the way down to those fields. So that's going to act as a very good launching off point here for 508P as they try to get up into the Mount Hialeah side. Now, it'll be interesting if these supplies are going to land here for 3LPZ, as Sergeant Hazel is sitting there right in the area, kind of waiting for them to fall down. But right now, 3LPZ just slowly getting eaten away here from the front portion of town, train station. Looking to try to hold themselves up here as they are getting boxed out of that sector as more and more of these bodies here from 508P are pushing forward. Dan getting the supplies there. Now it's just him and Sergeant Hazel as Hazel knows that those supplies most likely are down. Dan running across the field, trying to do a heroic run to get this garrison back up for his side. Dan guarding himself behind the backside of that wall. With the watch, gets another garrison up. So garrison back up in play for 3LPZ. But definitely warm as Sergeant Hazel is right here. So let's keep it here because this is going to be a pivotal battle here as this spawn, if this spawn goes away again, a lot of the 3LPZ guys are going to be wiped off of this front here. Sergeant Hazel, though, wisely stepping back here, knowing that He does not have the advantage here, but he does take out Jumo. Looking to try to get Torty. Is able to take out Torty. Shots though, Dan hears those shots. Dan running the wrong way though, as Hazel's gonna go ahead and keep running with that grease gun here. Knowing that Andrade was there, but a little bit of help for Sergeant Hazel as that man is also taken out here. Sergeant Hazel back up on this garrison here. Sergeant Hazel taking some breaks here behind that hay bale. Dan trying to repair, going in for repairs a little bit as Hazel's shooting at guys across the way. Takes out Tobias. Dan though, not gonna let him keep doing that. Looking to get the angle on Hazel as Dan looks to get up. Taking shots though at Sergeant Wyatt. Hazel also repairing a little bit, but Dan able to finally remove Hazel from that competition. But with that, 3LPZ pretty much eliminated from the front side, the front door presence on the train station. So 508P just slowly boxing him out of that train station cap sector. With a good front line coming in for 508P. Biggest advantage here for 3LPZ is going to be in this northern side as they still have the incursions kind of going on, pushing 508P back. But with the amount of bodies that 508P has down here on the southern side, it'll be interesting to see if they flood anybody up here just to help take care of the northern side, as we are starting to get bodies aided by the help of a 76 here on the southern edge. As Raven peeking around with this 76. Supplies almost landing on top of Raven's head. Lucky not to get a concussion there from him, because he was not aware that those supplies aren't there. Bucha. Satchel from 3LPZ, able to eliminate him though. 76 though, still pushing an advantage here, as they do not have any tanks here, with the exception, okay, they do have one Tiger tank on the backside that appears to be in retreat. So 76 gonna go pretty uncontested here on the front side. The Axis Panzerschreck is able to pen the side, so it'll be interesting to see if they're able to go ahead and continue, if they're going to be able to get any rockets on it, as 3LPZ is forced completely back here. Only garrison is going to be about 100 meters off the backside of the hard cap. We got a couple different OPs, but this 76 just strong manning its way here into the point here as more and more allied forces pushing up the edge behind him. All right, for anybody out there in the multiverse area, in the interwebs, watching this, I appreciate any likes, any subscribes that you guys are able to provide. It helps me out on my side as I try to battle the YouTube overlords and try to gain some additional advantages, features, benefits here as I work to become more and more involved here on the streaming side of Hell Let Loose. Gander, though, and Sapper Beast, though, don't see each other on the opposite sides of this hedge. Sapper Beast looking to try to get around here as the 76 continues to pound in, but Ander getting the final say here. Premium Note, though, looking to try to get the advantage, or trying to get some revenge here for his buddy. Fortunately, was also taken out. But now we've got the Tiger Tank starting to push up here on the 76 that's pushing up on the map edge. So Tiger Tank about to have some damage. Let's see who gets the first shot here, as the 76 most likely is reloading. Tiger's full. Let's see if he gets the hit. Gets the hit on the 76, forcing the 76 to go ahead and back up. Behind that hedge, though. Let's see how aggressive this Tiger Tank's going to be, as they now hold the advantage here, and with the help of their allied, with the advantage that the bazooka not able to do too much to the front or sides of it, definitely hold the advantage here as Epoch Ranger and his crew try to weigh their decision here and what they're going to do. As now they have one hit in them, trying to avoid getting that second hit from that other Tiger Tank here. So right now we're in a little bit of a stalemate here. Tiger Tank not being aggressive though, and it looks like that 76 is going to be able to go ahead and get their reps up here as Keith is outside with his little repair torch, trying to do what he can. Now, the Tiger Tank, it'd be interesting to see if they start splashing some HE rounds in here. That's one way to know that if the tank hasn't pushed back too far, that you can at least try to get some of the infantry that's potentially repairing that tank. But more and more Allied forces pushing up this backside. Repair station looks like it has gone up for the Allies, as well as a garrison here to help continue to hold themselves down as more supplies appear to be dropping in here for the Axis forces. 3 LPZ really not wanting to lose that southern side, as that is the biggest incursion portion here for 508P as they're trying to get into Mount Hileas. Commander Goober running across the field though, trying to see if his little Goober personality might be able to get in and clear up some way for his men to get in, but fortunately not able to help him out. Looks like Tiger Tank though starting to get a little more aggressive here. Actually, it's a Panzer IV being very aggressive. Push up here on this as an artillery shell lands on the area here, taking out all of the infantry support around let's see. Epoch Ranger here and his crew as he is forced to go ahead and back up. Tiger Tank though was eliminated. Ooh, what got that Tiger Tank? Was it a? Did we have a? Did we have an ET gun force that direction? No, it could have been this backside 76 here. Yep, that's exactly what it was. Getting a shot on that Tiger Tank. So Tiger Tank eliminated now, leaving the strong armor advantage here to the Allies here as that bombing run comes in for the Allied forces going over the top, leaving the Panzer IV damaged. This is the time for that 76 to push on in, finish that kill, and then it can fully get its rep as it's waiting to try to get off that repair station and get its full advantage as Premium Note Raven are assisting in getting that 76 back into the fight as Keiths has been able to make his way back into the match though. So good AT play all around here from the 508P side to be able to work that advantage here of the 2 heavy tanks on the southern side, taking out the Tiger that did not know that that other 76 was there as Brewmid unfortunately is going to be blown up with the rest of his crew as that 76 finally was able to get that angle on him. So with that, let's take a look and see, is there any additional tank? No, there are no additional tanks on the field with the exception of a Lux coming out of the northern side. 1,200 fuel though for the Axis forces. So 3LPZ should be able to get something else back in, but they're probably waiting on cooldowns as that 10-minute cooldown really is a killer, making those heavy tanks just so vital. But a great rocket coming out here from Joker, taking down 2 508P guys on the backside. Hang your hat on that there, Joker. Going to be helping out our wildcard stats that we were talking about earlier. Joker with a great rocket, but unfortunately returned in favor by the 76 as he leaves a blood streak across the backside of the battlefield there. So we've had a lot of action here for the Axis on the southern side. So southern side being a real big push here for the Axis, for the Allies. 3LPZ slowly getting weeded out here from the backside. So 508P pretty much controlling all of the red sector, and 3LPZ stuck to be back in their blue sector. So looking to try to get some type of push going here as we are nearing the second half of this game, just over the 45-minute mark. Still sitting at a 2-3 here for 508P. Now it appears that 508P has finally broken in through that southern section with the help of their 76 that just continues to be a pain and a thorn in the side here of 3LPZ. Now we've got a total incursion here around the backside here as cap progress starts to come in for 508P. This is a recipe for disaster here for 3LPZ as this garrison is being the sole helper here to try to funnel bodies back in, but it has a lot of people around the backside here. Sergeant Stake holding the backside though, and unfortunately I think the caster curse for calling out garrisons and their how important they are is causing a problem here for 3LPZ. So I'm going to do my best to not continue talking about how vital garrisons are, because it seems like as soon as I talk about them, they are eliminated as Joker's rocket from the front side of that 76 ricochets off into the atmosphere. Fortunately, the rocket programs for these various countries probably not going to be around for a few years, but rooted deeply in the World War II atmosphere. So had he not been taken out by that backside, maybe he would have had a little bit of help in the German rocket programs moving forward. But that is a backside multi-universe thing on the caliber of Marvel. We're looking for some of the new Marvel Cinematic Universe movies here. 508P nearing 1/3 of the way capped here on Mount Hyleus, as they have forced, with the aid of taking out that garrison here, 3LPZ to be pushing up the backside and now pretty much own the high ground. So, like the wise Obi-Wan once said, I have the high ground, and it appears that 508P has the high ground right now. Tiger tank moving in on that 76. 76 does have a little damage, so that one shot from the Tiger tank gonna go ahead and get up and get that 76 finally removed from the system that was in a giant thorn here in the side of the 3LPZ side. Now that we see the other 76 here, one shot into it, the Tiger tank able to get it. Let's see if he can get it before the smoke screen goes. Gets a second shot onto the 76 though. As a bombing run here for 3LPZ, able to eliminate some of the allies, but unfortunately misses that garrison. So with that, they're going to come right back in and continue pushing at that. So it's going to be big here on Dumal and Bucha to see if they can get in and try to claim that garrison so that it goes back in favor on the southern side here. As 3LPZ does have cap progress coming back on the defensive weight. Oh, but that 76 able to take that Tiger tank out. Oh boy. So now we are definitely on for about 7 minutes on cooldown here before another Tiger tank can be spawned here for the Axis forces. 76 going to go relatively unchecked here as those bazooka Panzerschreck rounds. Not going to be able to do too much to it. Dumal, though, looking to get up and see if he can get, even though our frames are dropping, able to get a satchel onto him. So the 76 satcheled here for 3LPZ. Good play here from Dumal as he was able to go ahead and get up and get that satchel on that tank. Let's go ahead and see if they're going to be able to do that. Fighting through our stuttering frames here. Cap progress staying in favor of 3LPZ here. As Reznal and his squad, unaware that this satchel is on the front and looking just to dive bomb into the front side. Looks like Duval is going to take that other 76 out, leaving the tanks here for the Allied forces. Going to have to go back as we see the first initial one. This first initial 76 coming out of the southern side. Be interesting to see if they spawn in another 75 to aid in with the help, as they do have 3LPZ a little bit on the ropes. But 3LPZ rallying back well to go ahead and get this map spawn back in their favor. All right, so it appears that southern side has been kind of shored up a little bit more from the 3LPZ side, as that garrison now removed, leaving just some OPs from the K&A squad. Sapper Best able to take out one, but Duke getting on his MG, able to take him out. But Big Rig, unfortunately, taking that kill away from Duke. Big Rig's going to have to buy Duke a drink or something after this for taking that kill away from him, as the man was not fully dead. Just bleeding out on the ground. I have lost many a kill to artillery that way. Like to say, if that feature wasn't in the game, my KPM would be a lot higher than it is. But that's all just wishful thinking. All right. Sergeant Wyatt Sapperbeast able to take out Duke. The Sapper Best already on the ground again here. Big Rig jumping across. Raven able to get some shots on him as Wyatt and Raven try to peek and try to get the corner here. Z-Mill taking out Raven. Charo on the backside with Wyatt there as well. No supplies yet dropped on the southern side here before 508P. Officers there need to get something in there. Get their guys to go ahead and drop those boxes here, as it looks like Moxie finally coming in with a box of supplies. Might be able to move up here and get that garrison back up for his guys here on the backside. As a rocket comes in from the Diego cap, or one of the two. I'm guessing it's Diego. Wyatt taking out Charosk. And again, it's not anything impersonal. It's just a Guy sitting in a room with English as his primary language. Fortunately, not able to get all of these names there. So, apologize to anybody if I mispronounced your name. Just trying my best over here. Gotta go back to my hooked on phonics. As an allied mind sits here in the corner. Mill able to take out Wyatt. Alright, we spent a lot of time on the southern side. Now that things are calming down here a little bit, let's go ahead and see what the northern side here is. These 3 LPZ guys are still hammering it out, trying to do what they can to hold it up on this backside. Pede Pano able to go ahead and eliminate the 508 guy. But more and more 508 guys, just for a second, while we're looking at the Falcon camp here, pushing their way into the Mount Hileus cap. So here shortly, we very well could see some cap progress starting to come back in favor of 508P. But for right now, they're trying to mount that 76 again on the southern side. Want to give these guys here in the north some screen time, though. That's one of my things that I like to try to do as a caster. Everybody loves to see themselves, and it's fun, especially on a YouTube video, to see your little character player running around here as Mount Hileus goes contested for just a moment. But no cap progress yet for 508P. Texas Beats just hiding in the backside. Doesn't recognize Big Rig got behind him. But Lucamundo might have DC'd as he is doing the sideways shovel. Lucamundo definitely DC'd. Yep, as he disappears. As Texas Beats also is eliminated here. But Blue Chew and Kill Nice Science guy getting some good crossfire here to try to eliminate some of these 3 LPZ guys here as they try to push down these railroad tracks. But unfortunately not to much success as PH looks to get shots on Kill Nice High guy and Blue Chew. Jamal, who we'd seen earlier back there on the 76, seems to be everywhere here. Or maybe it was Duval. Could have been Duval and Dumal. Don't quite know if we are dealing with both of you guys, but makes for a funner story if Dumal is just everywhere on the battlefield. 3 LPZ continue to get pushed back, though, on the northern side. Go ahead and see how this 76 is pushing here on the southern side as it's regaining its advantage here. Corporal Moxie, Z-Mill, and Joker doing what they can to try to hold off that 76. Able to take out the infantry guys, but more and more spawning here on the southern side. Big arty shell, though, coming in for Fanatico. Fanatico playing a major role here multiple times, able to clear a lot of infantry from the area here of the tanks. The Joker just trying to protect himself here on the southern side. What weapon does he have? That's going to tell us if he is equipped with the satchel. He does currently have the satchel blaster, but unfortunately might have been eliminated from friendly arty there. As that 76 continues to get bombarded there. Dr. Cox looking to get moved up and try to help out as Bucha trying to get an angle takes out Cox. But Bucha unfortunately sideswiped from the side. Just like the Velociraptors in Jurassic Park, hunting in packs here. And the pack mentality of the 508P able to eliminate him from the competition. Thugo Capander facing off against Raven and Teddy Tear. Lots of smoke in the area, though, as Raven's not going to be able to get around that because of that pre-placed barbed wire. Raven, though, looking to just try to do what he can to get what angles he can. Continue to help out with protecting that side. Now, the 76 does have a broadside, so Joker, unfortunately, if he still does not have AT rockets. Nope, looks like he's still running Satchel Blast. So with that, he is going to have to get a lot closer than that, unfortunately, to get a Satchel on that 76. Had he gotten rockets, though, he might have been able to get 1 or 2 into the side. He's damaged him a little bit, forcing him to retreat back as that repair station behind him is destroyed. So let's see. When it comes to allied tanks, did they end up rolling a 75 out? I do not see another 75 out on the field. So I have the 1 heavy tank. Must be waiting, and the armor crew must have folded down into that Tiger down into infantry for a moment. as we are snail's pace here. There we go. All right, let's see what's going on here. Is that Panzer IV looks like it was taken out. 76 able to get an advantage on that. So armor advantage still very strong in the favor of 508P. But now 508P in full control of all of the red sector, as no Blueberry or 3LPZ currently resides anywhere on that borderline. So just slowly and surely, 508P running a masterclass of just sector control, able to push bodies more and more here into the point, and just acting like a snowplow or a bulldozer, however you wish to do that, depending on your respective area of the world. Pushing out and maintaining that sector. Now, a couple things. Looks like we have a Stuart tank causing some problems back here on the backside for the Axis forces. Go ahead and see what he's doing back there, as it looks like he may have taken out a Tiger, or not a Tiger, but a transport truck here. Definitely don't want to take out the Arty man. Well, we're going by the nodes. Good work on his side not to take out any of the nodes. More and more destruction in the wake of these little Stuarts that like to get behind these 3LPZ lines. And a Panzer IV also on the backside. Sorry, not a Panzer IV, a medium Sherman also on the backside. Now, something exploded back here. Let's see, what did we see? Just a transport truck, or no, a little Puma, it looks like. Stuart tank getting potentially an angle on that. Yep, most likely was the Stuart tank there. So overall, armor play here for 508P being a major deciding factor in their infantry's ability to go ahead and push forward into the point. As 3LPZ is now pushed back an entire hedge on this northern side, still trying to get some type of foothold in the railway stations just above, just north of the tracks, and getting a good push, but still having to come across a lot of open fields to try to prevent these 508 guys from getting across. And I apologize for everybody on the cast there. Did not clear that mark, and my little cursor was on there, so I apologize that you had to see that little dot and the map markings there for a moment. ADHD superpower kicked in, and unfortunately, byproduct of that is missing some of those little benefits. Bucha trying to get behind the 76 as the 76 wisely keeps on going back. Now, this would be a perfect time for Ander to be able to have some rockets, but he probably just does not have them at the moment, unfortunately. Not going to be able to get shots into the backside of that 76, as the 76 continues to just hammer their way down into the point. Now, we've got a double stack of tanks coming in with that medium Sherman and that Stuart side on the backside, with the Tiger lurking in the background. It's like one shot into the medium here as the Tiger misses the second shot. Medium running for its life here as it tries to get around the backside, trying to do everything he can, but let's see if this shot is going to take out the medium, and he does. So medium tank taken out here by that Tiger tank, leaving just one Stuart along the backside here. Let's see how cautiously this Stuart tank's going to play here as he's running currently through the bottom fifth point here for the Axis. Looks like he's going to protect himself up in that area. Let's see if any additional markings come out. And if that Tiger tank's able to go ahead and get on up. We'll go ahead and keep an eye on that here in a moment. As the 76 continues to run havoc and wreak havoc around in the backside as the Axis forces, unfortunately, are not able to do too much against it. Looks like we have some maxing out stuff with some of those explosions here, so I dropped that bar down a little bit. Hopefully it makes it a little bit more of a comfortable viewing experience for you guys on the backside. But now, as we near the final 30 minutes of this match, 508P still strong-arming their way into the match here, as surprisingly Red Baron and Corporal Cox look to get and clear lines here. Might have just been trying to do an OP run to try to clear up the southern side here, as Red Baron flying in like he is World War I German predecessor there. Just riding on in that tank, or sorry, that truck, trying to do what he could. Get that push down there as Keith's and his crew are back on the southern side getting repairs on the southern end, looking to probably get a line and a push back up into this tank position here. Now, Stuart tank back here on the side still, with a sneaky half track up here. So once 508P, if they're able to go ahead and get this cap progress here, be interesting to see if they're able to get that pressure off and get a spawn off of that half track up there, as they now are moving into full control of the hard cap sector. Recon plane going up. Don't know what side is. We do not quite have those markings yet. The Joker able to get Sapper Vest. Red Baron eliminated. But that 76 still going to be joining the battle here fairly soon, as this Tiger Tank, that could be the deciding factor who's going to own this south. If this Tiger Tank goes down, that is going to leave the 508P squad in a very good position here. All right, no doubt Mark's going up here on this Tiger Tank now as Raven and Corporal Cox. Raven currently barbecuing himself on the backside of that map asset AT gun. Able to go down for some repairs, but more and more 508 guys pushing into this point. Now 76 here getting an angle on this Tiger, getting a shot into the Tiger Tank. Oh, Tiger Tank ricochets off the Sherman, forcing it to go back. Let's see how aggressive this Sherman tank will be now. 76 moving up, knowing they've got a round into that Tiger Tank. Tiger Tank being pressured, but a precision strike here on the backside, only taking out the repair station as the Tiger Tank backs up, potentially giving its backside up as an angle to that 76. But right now, backside straight in favor of Sergeant Dirt, or Corporal Dirtman and Doctor over here. That with the help of some rockets could potentially be a big issue. But it looks like maybe it wasn't a precision strike. Maybe it was just that Sherman or that little Stewart tank that got behind. But too bad that more rockets could have been fired from the Allied side that could have potentially cleared that Tiger tank off the backside. Both 76 damaged. Nothing going to happen on that bazooka round on the front side of that Tiger tank. This Tiger tank appears to be stuck up on the hedge. 3-man crew. Frida's just trying to keep his men alive as they are starting to be surrounded. Cap progress nearing 3/4 of the way here on Mount Hileas for the Axis, for the Allied side, as they are just starting to dominate their way into this sector. Already gearing up for an attack, it looks like, on the northern point here. 508P in strong presence here to gate the rest of this advantage. They have a supporting airhead as well on the backside. Wise man wisely throwing up a recon flare here so they can get an idea, and then probably we just had a few hearts sink in into the stomachs of 3LPZ as they see all of the red cherries there in the backside. Now, cap progress being contested on the 5th point here as Commander Goober back here on this side. Gonna potentially have commander on commander battles as Goober able to go ahead and get down, get that garrison. Goober's moving on it, taken out though. Oh, Arcanjo, member of the stream team, able to get up and save the garrison from taking out, being a big helper for his team there. Now, somebody's going to need to get back and get that half track moved on up here and get it reactivated here for the Allied side as Pepe Pano could potentially get back here with a rocket, but unfortunately does not know that this half track is here. Now, bombing run appears to be coming in for 508P. Trying to clear whatever they can out of the way. Unfortunately, not going to get that garrison because that garrison is well protected under there. Oh, but garrison half-track does spawn here. So it was active. Here on our server side here, we don't see whether it's active or not active. So it was active, becoming a live spawn here for 508P as they flood down into the point now, leaving a very big hole right here with 3LPZ now being forced to vacate this area to try to get down. These squad leads really need to do what they can to hold these positions, because if they get sucked down, it's just a matter of time. But for 508P, eats all of this sector, and within minutes, it's going to be gone. And going to leave yourself in a very difficult spot there for 3LPZ. So 3LPZ able to get back up into the hard cap here, though, but they're going to need to get some blooming effects going. Going to need to spread out a little bit. as they have this wave of 508P coming in from the north. I don't know if it's been made aware to the 3 LPZ players, as I don't see any shots going that direction yet, but shots starting to ring out here for the Axis side as they push in from the north, making 3 LPZ very aware that they're here. Dr. Cox moving through the cattails here on the back side of the river. Sangjo got his hands full in front of him as Dr. Cox sacrifices the body to get the enemy Garrison, as Garrison no longer on the field for 3 LPZ here in hardcap. 508P pushing bodies in from the north. Looks like they are starting to get their advantage pushed in from that northern half-track spawn. With Otter moving around here in the middle of hardcap, forcing more and more 3 LPZ players to push down in. Cap progress starting to come in for 508P. Most likely sending some panic shrieks into the command chat of the 3 LPZ side as they take the first wave out from the 508P side that pushed down in. Satchel going off here. Proxy Satchel placed by 508P. Often does a lot of damage, but right in there, nobody was in the range of it. Now as a Tiger tank tries to move on up and defend what they can, as we have 1 Panzer IV, 1 Tiger tank here, trying to hold off this southern side as they know that 76 up on the hillside of Mount Hileas, waiting for it to peak, potentially get the double tap. All right. Oh, and I have not yet updated our score, so apologies to everyone there. I was too focused on that flip here. And so we are going to go to a 1-4 right now in favor of 508P. For those of you that are watching on the backside, even though we don't have our stats on the actual ticker bar now, we currently have Fanatico leading out the charge right now. Our artilleryman here, Fanatico, on the Axis side, leading with 110 kills, or 111 kills. So we've seen their presence very well known in this match, and seen a number of drops go in favor of him as he's able to clear out a lot of armor presence. A lot of people around tanks. This not only save his tanks, but help take out enemy tanks as well. 508P though, flooding more and more bodies here into the cap. 3 LPZ in danger mode here as cap progress nearing about 10, 15, 20% here. Flickering for just a moment in favor of 3 LPZ. Or 508P. Tiger tank gonna need to get up as both him and his friendly Panzer IV are smoking already. As the 76 back on Mount Hileas, just throwing and lobbing shells in their general direction. More supplies coming in for the Axis side, but nobody there, unfortunately, be there to catch it as Hazel moves up. Most likely going to try to get an angle on it and try to eliminate those. Nearing halfway capped here for 508P. 3 LPZ in full desperation mode here. Still has enough for a reinforce. Most likely would be available for Commander Aldemiro, but unfortunately, only a few blueberries are in the point that would be able to add additional cap. But at this point, you got to throw down what you can. Bombing run coming in, though, for the Axis forces here. 3 LPZ trying to salvage it off a final bombing run as more and more 508 bodies flood in from that northern side off of that half-track that was placed there. Cap progress going back in favor now that reinforce is down for 3 LPZ. Bombing run inbound. Let's go ahead and take a look at how many it's able to eliminate. Missing Private Jackie, but it looks like Squiggly might be right down in the middle of that line of the bombing run. So unfortunately, no longer with us. But Private Jackie able to go ahead and get behind them, leaving Sergeant Ed and him as the sole 508 guys closest to the hard cap there. OP spawn though for 508P right outside of hard cap, so Squiggly and Texas Beats able to get right back into the fight. 3 LPZ doing very well, holding the front door, able to eliminate the garrison that was right here for 508. But unfortunately, and that's not where the push was coming in here for 508P, as 508P continues to flood more and more bodies, now having more bodies in the backside sector than 3 LPZ does on the southern side. Defensive cap pressure, though, still holding with the help of that reinforce for 3 LPZ as a rocket comes out for Sergeant Ed, missing but was very close to a few 3LPZ players on the southern side. Arcanjo able to take out Grunto, but unfortunately Arcanjo not able to get the double kill there, as he was also taken out with the trade there. Okay, full cap progress back in favor of 3LPZ, but that is aided with the help of a reinforce. These bodies from 3LPZ needing to get up here into the hard cap here to continue holding that, as now they have been very well compacted down, with 3LPZ only having bodies in this middle sector. 508P having, with the exception of a couple outliers here, 508P really owning a lot of the southern and the northern flanks there. And so 508P in a very strong position here to try to finish this match out, as the Lux just tries to get back and take out some of the bodies here for 508P. Corporal Gray, though, getting up, getting a satchel on the front side of this Lux. It is not long for this world, as Sneezy, unfortunately, is a solo man. Probably did not see that satchel get put on. That'll be gone in a matter of about 20 seconds. And with him goes the final armor for the Axis side. No garrison up for 3LPZ. Bagra, the closest guy that could have done something up there, is eliminated. Now leaving D Squad here on the back side as the closest officer, so Arcanjo, closest officer to potentially get some type of garrison up here for his guys in the middle hard cap. That does not happen. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough go here for 3LPZ. So looking to try to get up, get that push. Luckily, they still have 100 supplies that came in off a supply drop. Plenty of supplies in the area. Just need an officer to build it. 508P still flooding in from the north with the aid of that half track. It's still hiding in that backside sector. Chaos and Cole in the back hedge here. Ronnie Cole just flooding rounds into the hard cap as Johnny Hogg makes a jump off to try to get down there. Gets Cole, but does not get Chaos. Chaos still alive, taken out by Pede Pando. But cap progress coming back in. Now the reinforce is gone. We know they do not have that reinforce, most likely for at least another minute here on the backside. So 3LPZ needing to hold off, as all of those little red cherries are adding up. Even though they don't have a lot of cap progress in the hard cap quite yet, all those little cherries starting to add up, with cap progress ticking back in favor of 3LPZ. White eliminated by Arcanjo. Arcanjo looking to try to get up, get that garrison, but also was taken out. Highest potentially getting that shot on him on the backside. Hazel moving on up. Takes one out. Does not get Mister, but shooting at him very well. Making a dip around. Vitafu 94 not able to stop Hazel, as Hazel still running around like a madman with the supplies here, trying to do what he can to secure this southern size. Braga comes up. Hazel takes out Braga. Hazel, can he get a fourth one? No. Hazel eliminated by the backside of Johnny Hogg. 508P getting cap progress, but being contested here on the point. Airhead coming in, though, unaware. Don't know what side particular it is. I'm going to guess it's probably coming from the 508P side, but it looks like it's going to land relatively uncontested. Johnny Hogg, though, seeing it come in, going to do what he can to try to prevent that from spawning in. Bombing run, though, for the ally side coming in. Is Johnny Hogg going to be able to get this garrison, this airhead? No, he is not. With Chaos able to get a good racket shot up into him. 508P continuing cap progress on the 5th point here. 3LPZ trying to struggle to get bodies back in. Garrison up on the southern side. More bodies will be able to get in. But a bombing run gonna unfortunately come in. Most likely gonna take out that garrison, and it survives by the skin of its teeth. So 3LPZ okay for the moment. They will get a garrison spawn off of that, but the airhead unfortunately still spawning here for 508P. Has a desperation airhead here on 3LPZ side. Tries to come in from the southern side, but plenty of little red cherries from 508P are all ready to go ahead and line up and secure that airhead once it hits the ground. Most likely preventing 3LPZ from getting in there. 76 now for the allied squad, moving up in to try to help secure their cap progress. As 508P eye in the 5-0 here against 3LPZ. Big spawn wave here off the southern side. Desperation for 3LPZ as more and more men fall for 3LPZ. Garrison taken out. with that, it appears that we are going to be seeing a 5-0 here for in favor of 508P. 3LPZ giving it everything they could, though, but 508 just over the course of the match, just able to weed out 3LPZ from their sectors, and honestly practicing some very good sector control. We're going to go ahead and give Corporal Otter some screen time here, as he is the closest, but does not want to take the victory for himself. Kill Nice Eye Guy, though, being very much willing to take that airhead out. Takes his buddy out. No doubt there's going to be a little communication about that in the chat afterwards. But 508P in very strong control of the hard cap as we hit the closing ticks here of the cap. 508P going to win that 5-1 over 3LPZ here. Let's go ahead and see what we can do to give our man of the match. We're going to go ahead and give it to our Artie squad lead here for the great work that he had on the Artie gun. Fanatico, giving the commendation here to Fanatico. Very well done. Great job on his part, and we will go ahead and talk a little bit here about the stats. But let's go ahead and drop this volume down here just a little bit as we try to talk through just a brief discussion of how this match progressed. So it essentially started with the cap by 508P over an initial cap that was fought pretty well for the first few minutes, with a little bit of pressure going back in the favor of 3LPZ. But 508P able to get that initial cap, and from there it was 508P just slowly able to go ahead and push out 3LPZ. Major deciding factor, though, for 508P was their armor crews, as they were able to maintain a very strong armor advantage throughout the course of that match, leaving 3LPZ on their back foot, especially on the armor side. With a couple wraparound armor plays from 508P that was really able to get 508P or 3LPZ on the back foot, prevent him from really getting able to get up and take some good firing positions. But at the end of the day, 508P able to go ahead and get up 5-0, winning that match, and will improve to 2-2 on the TPL bracket, while 3LPZ unfortunately will drop to 0-4. Looking to try to get that win here as they move into the final week here of play here on week 5. So now that the match is over, let's go ahead. We're going to transition into our desktop, and we're going to take a look and see what our backside will look like here. So let's go ahead and open up our desktop. You can see a little bit of how the sausage is made on the backside. We've somehow gone full window here. So let's go ahead. We're going to hide this for just a second while I work to get out a full window. All right, there we go. So popping our desktop back up, let's go ahead and take a look at how this whole thing has ran here for the stats. Let's also give a little bit of a musical background. We like to have a little bit of fun here on the backside. A little bit of music here, so it's not just my boring voice going on in the background. But game history. Let's go ahead and pop up here. Carentan 5-0 right here. All right. So total match time 117. Match leader Fanatico finishing out with 126 kills. Against his counterpart, Corporal Team Crazy Texan, back here with 62. Now, the other top 7 outside Fanatico all going in the favor of the 508 side. 88, 75, respectively, rounding out the top 3 for Matthias and Sergeant Hazel. Let's go ahead and look at the comparisons, though. Infantry going to 508P with a kill win of 930 to 802. Machine gunners going in favor of 3LPZ, 136 to 83. Artillery, we just talked about that differential, but the armor advantage that we kind of were talking about a little bit there. Allied armor outgunning the Axis armor, 166 to 94. So getting a good advantage on that, and snipers definitely playing a major role in the advantage that the Allied team had as well. Bazooka kills, that was going to be our major, kind of our wild card stat that we showed at the beginning, 12 to 16. So relatively even, not too bad. And so neither side really getting too much of an additional advantage. But the Allied armor able to go ahead and help so that the Allied bazookas didn't have that much to have to shoot at. And so overall, we're seeing the total advantage here of the armor play and the fewer bazooka plays kind of coming in and matching everything up. Mine kills matching, but 3LPZ leading very well on the AT gun side. Finally, just to go ahead and talk about this section down here, this graph down here basically takes the top person from each team, second person from each team, third person from each team, and so on and so forth down the line, and compares their kill differentials. And so in this case, kill differential going to Fanatico here in the number 1 ranked spot. But all the way back down to the 37th ranked spot is going to be going to 508P. Just basically meaning them with their counterparts are either evenly matched or with the 508P player gaining a little bit of an advantage there. So overall, stats are also showing us how 508P was able to go ahead and get in and win that with a 5-0 victory. But overall, good battles, good fights, good action on both sides. Both teams definitely came into that match doing their homework, coming in with a game plan, were able to execute on it. But unfortunately for 3PZ, they walk away from this one with another loss in the column. But there's still plenty of a TPL season to go, with playoffs and round coverage here in 2 weeks here for this Division 4 matchup. So wishing both teams the best of luck as they move into the final week of regular play and into the playoffs. Hoping that both teams are able to go ahead and have a good old time as they move in and finish out their portion of the TPL season. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and send you guys on back to your Saturday afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. We thank you for tuning in here. I've been Night Falcon on this cast today. Appreciate a like and a subscribe if you can give it to us. Helps us out as we are currently working to try to get our numbers up, pushing towards the advantage or some of the benefits that YouTube gives us there. But at the end of the